You know, I'm back at the Marriott Downtown Hotel, and there is, at the moment as we speak, the main central sports bar in the hotel feels like the Kansas City Stadium. Today, I've not been in a stadium where the Ghana fans have been outnumbered this much. It was like you take 1,000 Colombian fans, you will find 2 Ghanaian fans. And the disparity was not just in the stands. It helped that we all wear yellow colors so you couldn't make out the difference and all that. But if you were in that stadium, it was the disparity in the number of Colombian fans. If you were watching on TV, and sometimes you get a better view of a football match on TV than in the stands, it was just the sense you got that Ghana never had the gloves on. The Black Stars were never at the races in this game. That the Black Stars didn't show enough fight, they didn't show enough energy, they didn't show enough drive, they didn't come across as if they knew this was a knockout game. We were lame, we were ineffective for much of the period. The team collapsed off the back of the substitution of Marvin Senaya. The team had no creativity, they had no punch. Over a full 90-minute period, the team couldn't muster a shot on target. I know Carlos Queiroz will speak about his pride and everything, and I think he can be really proud of the job that he's done. To start with, I know a lot of you didn't expect Ghana to get out of the group stage. I did. I always said that there was a likelihood we were going to play 4 games. So in my mind, this was what was going to happen. Ghana was going to come to the World Cup, play 4 games, as I said in the interview with Kafuide. But I also said that in the knockout stages, anything could happen. But it was almost as if at multiple points in the game against Colombia, many of the players forgot that. Look, full respect to Colombia. Their fans are great, they are passionate, they are immersive. Their players played with a lot of commitment. But players like Davinson Sanchez, Luis Diaz, the guy who scored a goal, I've forgotten his name. The sort of football Colombia played is not the sort of football that should render Ghana to 0 shots on target. It shouldn't happen. And the only reason it happened was that we literally went into this fight waiting for our opponent to make a mistake and then we pounce. I've been a fierce defender of Carlos Queiroz's tactics. And I think that you've got to do what you want to do to win. But I also said in the first game against Panama, in the first half, we should never have played the way we played against Panama. But we won in the end with the last kick of the game. So it was important for us that we got that out of the way. Against England, they were a superior opposition. So you set the low block, you defend well, and you get it done. Against Croatia, we went down, we fought back, but we were never able to win. Against Colombia, in a game where the winner takes all, we started well, our right back goes off, and we literally collapsed like a pack of cards. Ali Disedu has a lot of fans. Ali do the GOAT. He will want to forget what this game today. Never ever in it. Never. Absolutely at no point in it. He was not in it at any point. Then there was who? Across board, Jordan Ayew had a game to forget. In midfield, Thomas Partey was great. My own friend Sibo, not advancing play a lot. Inaki Williams, another stinker in the Black Star shirt. Jordan, a stinker as well. And the worst part is that the Ghana substitutions did absolutely nothing to change the course and the direction of the game. So Fatawi Sayaku and Esnyama come on, and you're looking at it and you're wondering, what is this going to do to the team? In the end, nothing. So over a 90-minute period, no shot on target, no inventiveness, no drive, no energy. no vibe. Semenyo leaves the tournament without scoring a goal, and everybody says, okay, why don't you play around Semenyo? Great. We've got to learn to play around Semenyo. Can Semenyo learn to play around us? It didn't happen. I know that we like to look at the glass as half full rather than half empty, and I think in this case, the glass is half full. So the glass is half full, but it's also half empty. Half full because, well, that's logical, isn't it? If the glass is half full, then it also means that it's half empty. It just depends on the way you look at it. But essentially, to my mind, there are a lot of very exciting players in this side. Caleb Rich is giving us hope. Marvin Senna is his mid-20s. That's a long time to come. I think Jonas Ajete will be around for long. Jerome Opoku, Itumi Chema are brilliant. Atizigi showed that we were too quick to write him off because one of the few players today to leave with any element of credit with the saves he put off. Because without him, this game would have been over way before the 90 minutes. Sibo will be around for a while. Partey played a great game. But I'm sorry, but there are too many younger players who are not so young, who are getting into their mid-20s that we've given the benefit of the doubt for so long, who've got to step up. We've given Jordan the benefit of the doubt for so long, but in this tournament, he was basically just not good enough. That's the honest truth. In this tournament as well, I think players like Fatawi Sahaku, Enes Niama, Kamadin Suleiman are the best. The least said about him, the better. We're never really good. And I pinpoint these players to make a point. In Qatar, we spoke about having one of the youngest, we spoke about actually having the youngest squad. We spoke about a situation where these players will grow, become better. And we came to this World Cup hoping that these players would have learned an incredible lot, would have become miles better, and they would then go into a game and own it. And yet when we needed these players, they never showed up. They've not showed up. You can fault Carlos Queiroz too much. You can fault him for the approach. He's the coach who must decide that his team needs to punch a bit more. His team needs to show a bit of fight. Because what we saw against Colombia was deeply disappointing. It's like we take the ball, boom, there we go. Boom, there we go. Boom, there we go. The only time we wanted to put Colombia on the back foot, we looked a lot more. So whilst I've always said that it's great to have a solid backline, to have the capacity to defend, to be in there in the mix and do all the right things, in a knockout stage, you've got to switch it up one step. And it seemed as if our only path out was to keep it tight, and we didn't have the means of going forward. But even today, we're lucky we didn't concede a lot of goals. Because the errors at the back from Ali to Seidu, from there, the whole defense looked jittery. Then yeah. So we have big conversations to have. Who do we go forward with this? There will be a conversation about Carlos Queiroz. Will this style, will this approach take Ghana to the next level? Will this style, this approach make Ghana competitive in the Nations Cup? Will playing like this get Ghana anywhere remotely close to winning a major tournament? It's a question we must answer. From where I sit, I am yet to see the evidence. Ghana needs to become way better. But I don't think it's just an issue we can have with the coach. Every one of those players needs to get better. Fatau, Kamadin, Jordan, if he's still around. All those players need to get better. Semenyo, he's left the tournament without scoring a goal. And I am not one of those who belongs to the school of thought that, oh, we didn't play around him. Of course we need to play around him, but where was the Semenyo himself? Even Pep Guardiola plays around Semenyo. But Semenyo also shows discipline. He shows discipline with Ghana, but he shows a lot more endeavor. He shows a lot more appetite. He shows a lot more leadership. And Semenyo has to understand that in this country, you must do that. And I'm going to say something we all won't like. I know we didn't miss Salisu, we didn't miss Jiku. But all of you have to admit we missed Starboy Kudus. Where was the guy who was running at defenders? Where was the guy who was taking on opponents? Where was the guy who just didn't win his fouls, who advanced ball in play? Where was the guy who could pull out a goal out of nothing? Where was the star boy? Where was the guy who decided this game is so important, I am going to own it? Nobody did that. Our star boy was away. He was not available. And at no point during the competition did we look like we found a solution for this immeasurable absence. Remember when it happened, I did a video, I said Tufiakwa 3 times. I was hoping it wasn't the case, but in the end, it proved to be the case. So a lot to build on. The likes of Caleb Brinchi, Christopher Bonsuba, have a lot of things to give in future. Marvin Senaya, brilliant player. I think Semenyo will still be a key member of this team if he wants, if he shows a lot more leadership. You know, Fatawi Sahaku, if the end product becomes better, Kamadi Suleimana, everybody needs to become a lot better. I hope that Brandon Thomas Asante gets his chance. I just can't understand why, after everything he did in that game against Panama, the coach literally seemed to switch off completely on him. And I will be here to observe the debate and the conversation about what we do with Carlos Queiroz. We wanted to get through the tournament nice and calm. We wanted to get through to the next stage. Do we think this can win us trophies? It's a big question. The Ghana Football Association President Ketu Kweku must answer. Thank you for following my coverage of Ghana throughout the period of the World Cup. Remember, it's brought to you by Haptel Pay Small Small. And Haptel Pay Small Small is fairly simple. You download the Haptel app. If you already have it, you look for, you sign up to Haptel Pay Small Small, you load up your wallet, buy the things that you want to buy, and when you run low on cash, we will give you essentially what is the equivalent of a bank overdraft to be able to shop for little things like groceries, make payment, buy airtime, top up your utilities and everything. It's been a sad day for Ghana football. Knocked out of the World Cup, no fights. There was no fight today. And with a lot of questions for the future. We'll try to provide answers for them as we go along. Salud.